Bleeding is probably the biggest health threat that nobody really focuses on. Within the US alone, it's the leading cause of death for people aged 1 to 44. And at all times of your life, it's a severe problem. Younger adults typically happens trauma, things like car accidents. And then as you get older, and typically you end up on these anticoagulants like Plavix, it becomes sort of more of these internal bleeding that kind of leaks rather than a massive injury. Even if it's not severe, it can have major effects on your quality of life. So my PhD is in material science. Typically this has been purely the field of biology. Most of the drugs are based around recombinant factors in the clotting cascade. And so they're proteins, they're very expensive to produce, they have to be stored either frozen -20, potentially -80. And so the really exciting thing with materials is that one, it's very stable, but also using these materials as catalysts rather than key components of the clotting cascade, we think that we can have a more targeted effect on bleeding. So Cayuga's lead candidate is Ky1. In the bloodstream, it targets a specific coagulation factor called thrombin, and thrombin's produced later stage in coagulation, and its job is essentially to put the platelet and fibrin brick and mortar into the clot that stops the bleed. And so Ky1's job, once there's thrombin, it accelerates the rate of that thrombin formation and gets thrombin to put that brick and mortar wall up together quicker. With Ky1, we can really simplify treatment, combine it with blood products, some of the treatments that are out there, provide a cocktail that has much better prognosis for patients. So to date, we have done a rat trauma model, a pig trauma model that was funded by DARPA, and most recently with IndieBio, we just completed a rat Plavix model. And so in each of these studies, what we've seen is that Ky1 is fast acting. You're able to stop bleeding within 5 minutes. We've also had significant reduction of blood loss in all of these models. So imagine bleeding like a leaky pipe. The first thing you want to do is to plug that leak. So Ky1's job is to get that plug in there much quicker, and that reduces the amount of blood that's lost, and that can be the difference between life and death.